Okay, I'm going to show you how to roll a slab, and I've already cut my piece off of the block of clay. And now, before I put it through the rollers, here I need to thin it. And I'm going to start doing that by hammering it with this rolling pin. And it doesn't just thin it, it also compresses the clay. So this is how I start. A lot of people like getting their aggression out when they're doing this, but you don't want to do the very edges because you'll just smush them and make them too thin. So you go back and forth a couple times, not making the ridges too deep because then you'll get trap air in there. And then I'm going to flip it over and turn it and repeat. Do the same thing. It's the morning, so I don't have a lot of aggression right now. So it's not as satisfying as later in the day. Okay, one more time. Flip and turn. And that's just so all the clay particles get a chance to get compressed. After this, I usually just take the rolling pin. I've already made it. It's less than half as thick as it was when I started. I'll usually just take the rolling pin and start thinning it like that. And what I do is I press down on the clay. I'm not using my arms. I'm using my body weight to push the clay forward. So what I do is I kind of make a ridge here, go up to the ridge, and I'm just trying to move the ridge. I happen to be using very dry clay. You'll have a much easier time. I get the bad clay to use for demos, but it'll work. And I'm going to do the same the other way. And right now I'm thinking about what size slab I want to make so that it will be large enough for the piece that I want to make later. And we'll discuss that at another time, how you figure out how much clay to cut off the block. This is going to be used, I'm at clay camp right now, and I'm going to demo how to do a bunch of surface decoration. And I'm going to make it a little bit longer before I roll it through the roller. Wider, I guess. Here it goes. And notice I'm staying away. I'm not rolling off the edge of the slab for the same reason as you don't want to hit the edges of the slab. I don't want to make them so thin that they're useless. Okay, so now I'm going to put this aside. I have it about as wide as I need it. Lift it up. I'm going to turn it this way. And I like to, there's no one way ever to do anything, but I like to have my clay up near the edge of the canvas, which is used to prevent the clay from sticking to the rollers. And I'm going to cover it and make the edges meet at the top. Next, I'm going to check that the rollers are the correct distance apart. This slab I want to make 1/4 of an inch. This stick is marked 1/4 of an inch. And what I do is I put it through the rollers, and I can feel it just touching the teeth, which is what you want. If it slides through too easily, your slab's going to be thicker than you wanted. Okay, so now when I go to push the canvas through, it kind of gets all balled up at the rollers. So I'll use the rollers themselves to get the canvas through. Next, this is important. You don't have to pull the clay through, but you want to hold on to both layers of the canvas, because otherwise it tries to go down in between the rollers, and then you make a big mess and you get really angry. So I'm just holding on to them, and I'm using the wheel to roll this out. So here I have, I think I'm okay. my clay lumped up. If you think you're having a problem, just stop and see what it is. I'm having issues because this is so dry, but I'll make it work. I also bring it back through the rollers a second time because you can never compress the clay too much. Next step, I have to get my smoother, so hang on a minute.